Hello. How is everybody doing? And welcome again to your favorite online edition of Talk Shop, where we tell like this and let the chips fall where they may. And as I always say, what time is it, folks? In what time is it, folks? It's nation time. It's nation time. Do you know why I keep saying this? Let me explain it a little bit today. When the nation flourishes, we all flourish. When the nation flourishes, the businesses flourish, the individuals flourish, the people flourish. When the nation flourishes, when the nation is in chaos, business is in chaos, everything goes down south. So when I say it's nation time, Mama can, it's just because we want this nation to get up. And by the way, let me say something. Talk Shop is a platform for nation building, man. End of discussion. Now let me say something, because I've had a few remarks, not a few, quite a lot. Hey, KSM, you're always hitting hard on the government. Let me explain this. Whoever is in power, they hold the power to control things. So when things are not going well, you don't go and hold the opposition who is in opposition or responsible. No. Unfortunately, the government is the one you hold responsible for things that are not right. So let me say this on this note, folks. This is a nation building platform. Don't think for once that if in the chance that maybe power changes, and let's say the NDC is in power, or Alan is in power, or Cheddar is in power, or whoever is in power, that this platform will suddenly diminish. We will always be here. And the key thing is this. Once you're doing things that are in favor of nation building, we'll come here, we'll say it, we'll support it, we'll push it. And if you're doing something that is not in favor of building this nation, something that is not making this nation flourish, trust me, whatever party, whatever affiliation, I'm telling you, man, this platform is not a partisan platform. But like I said, I don't come and waste my time and come and criticize the opposition. No, I'm not some opposition. They may be saying all the right things, I don't care. If they are to come into power, then we'll see the new line of criticism that we'll use when necessary, if not to. But let me move on. I just have to say this so people understand that this platform is forever. And anyone coming in must be prepared to face the consequences of this platform. Now that we have resolved that, what time is it? It's nation time. We want to build this nation, folks. And not this program, at a different program, I'll tell you things why Ghana is so dear to my heart. Folks, let me tell you something as basic as it is. I am not for or against any party. I'm just obsessed with Ghana. I am not for or against any party. I'm obsessed with Ghana. So when I think that there's a party, an individual or group of individuals doing things that are undermining the growth of Ghana, I will talk, because I'm obsessed with this country. Now today on Talk Shop, there are a few things that I want to look at. Basically, we are very, 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 very close to the election. So today, my focus is going to be on the election. But before we get to the election, there's a saying Americans say, like drop the ball. It's a very American expression that I use, drop the ball. There's another saying that they say a lot in America that I like. They say, don't major in the minors. And now they can look at you and say, so you are majoring in the minors. What does it mean? Simply this. Those of you who have gone to university, there's something called the major. The major is the main subject. The major is the main thing that you want to do. The minor can be a backup thing that you're doing. Right? So you study, your concentration is on your major. And they are the minors that are there. For example, you can be majoring in law, but you have a minor in maybe religious knowledge. I'm just using these things, or vice versa. But when the US person tells you, why are you majoring in the minors? It means that our attention is not focused on the major things. That's what it means. So you are majoring in the minors. Why is your attention not focused on the major thing? And a tree, I like even how we say it in tree. I think it's even better. Tree, I say, and yet you let's just say you are majoring in the minors. For when you see the here also, focus on the important thing. That's the major. Now, Ghana, I think we major in the minors. Recently, and permit me, there was the unveiling of the new Bank of Ghana. It's called the Bank Square. Allegedly, not allegedly, apparently it cost over $250 million. Well, it's a great edifice. It stands and whatever. But folks, listen to me. At the time when we are able to invest $250 million, at that same time, our pensioners have had a haircut and some of them have lost their money. Some pensioners have died. Some have had stroke, early death, immature. Pensioners who have served this nation to the fullest with their heart. Some have worked 30 to 50 years. Dedicated to building this nation, their pension, their bonds that they have invested in, so that when they are now retired, they can use this thing for their upkeep. Abayin has cancelled them, said, we are in debt, so we can't pay these things, so we are in debt. So while pensioners, they can't even afford to find money for medication because the government has cancelled their benefits. And at the same time, we have $250 million to build a new bank infrastructure. Folks, we are majoring in the minors. They're fine, it's beautiful. But at this point in particular, it's a vanity project. It's a vanity project. At this point, where we are now, even I think it was the US ambassador making some talk, actually is appealing. This is the US ambassador, Onya Ghana. He's appealing to the government of Ghana to pay its debts and the arrears that we have in our external and internal debt. That is how bad the country is now. We are the government is being that arrears, so that the business community can stand up and do things. Let me do a quick reaction, quick cut to what the president has said about the bank and how that infrastructure is going to help the economy. Listen to this.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we stand here today, we're not only celebrating the physical structure of this imposing complex, but also acknowledging the progress of our economy, which this edifice symbolizes.
Folks, this economic benefits that's going to bring to the country. The first question I want to ask is this: would this building help the city to appreciate? To say the exchange rate is, if you want $1, you have to cost 17 cedis. Will this building bring it down? Will this building lower the inflation? Will the presence of this building help us to pay our pensioners who have had a very terrible haircut? So let me go back. We are majoring in the minors. Charlie, the focus of this country now should be one thing, and be nation building. How do we build a nation? How do we sustain our businesses? And it's very, very fortunate for the government that businesses can't talk. Or let me put it this way, they won't talk. Because they think that if they go and say certain things and it doesn't come out well, they may be victimized or penalized. So they can't talk. But not that everything is that well. I'm in business and I talk to businessmen, and I'm telling you, don't mistake their silence for say they are happy with the way things are going. So please, let us major in the majors. Let us major in the majors. At this point, our focus should not be projects that are big and fancy and they cost $250 million. That is not adding a penny in terms of how our city can appreciate. You have a whole pit there, 58 million cities, and we are pit keke. Pit. We are majoring in the minus. Now, having said that, just my beginning. And folks, if we want to build this nation, and we must, because we don't have any other nation. I know Ghanaians who are abroad, who are doing well, who are comfortable, when they come to Ghana for just 3 days vacation, KSM, but they always have complaints. At the end of the day, if we have a solid Ghana, trust me, not only Ghanaians, but everybody will be flocking here so we can build this nation. We can build this nation if you major on the majors. Now stop majoring in the minors. We can build this country. Say, be here. And yet, you're fatal. And yet, so, but $250 million with this bank infrastructure. This is great. This is beautiful. We have showed the world that blah, 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 blah. We have even shown the world that our pensioners are not getting paid their benefits. We can show the world that. It's okay. We can show the world that our businesses are suffering. We can show the world that our trades, the people who do the trading are suffering bitterly because of the exchange rate. We can show the world that. But at the end of the day, folks, what do we want to show the world? We want to show the world a Ghana that is of Ghana, which is a prosperous country. We can show the world above everything that we have built a Ghana for our children and our children's children. Let me tell you something. They say when you're talking to a responsible man, he's working hard, Ukraine shovel, he's digging, he's working hard, plant a tree. The man wants to plant a tree. And here's the thing. He knows that the tree that it's planting is going to grow and have leaves and give them beautiful shade. That's why he's planting the tree. But do you know something? He knows that he may not live to experience that shade. You see, now do you have Ukraine say be a be blossom Ukraine wu. I say nyehwe. Me ya mama nananom. I'm putting this tree there for my children and my children's children. So in effect, I don't care if I don't get to enjoy the shade of it. Some can enjoy the shade, but the bottom line is that they are building for our children. What is Ghana putting together for our youth? And I'm sorry, you crazy youth, you have become foot soldiers for parties, walking around, you can't see. What is Ghana leaving for you to inherit? Say, okay, I'm now this age and I've inherited my country and this is what I'm going to do. This is what my father left for me to continue and I'm going to build on it. Nothing, my dear youth. Nothing. Oh. So the idea for Ghana right now is to build institutions that will take care of the youth that are coming. Employment, things like that, folks. But that's going to be another topic for another time. All I want to say is let's stop majoring in the minus as a nation. MYN, it's not about show. So now let's move on. We are very, very few weeks or even days away from the election, depending on when you are watching this program. There we are having what I've always said is one of the most consequential elections in the history of this country. How prepared are we? My point of view is this. We, the people, we are ready for the election. We, the people, are ready to have a very, very, very peaceful election. We'll go and join the line early. We'll be in the line. We'll go and use our thumb, and we're going to vote and then count and then hope that the counting is done accurately and everybody is happy that their votes were counted. That's our aim. All of us who want to vote, that is what we are aiming for. That is our plan, that we'll go and we'll vote peacefully. So that's our commitment. What about the other commitments? I am glad to hear that the IGP has come out with his commitment that now they are arranging with the telcos, and very soon they are going to have a telephone line that people can call to report election issues and things.
Currently working with the telcos to assign to us a dedicated number that will be used in this room. Wherever you find yourself, when there is a situation, you can, through calling that number, access myself directly.
That's the first time that is being done in Ghana, so I commend the IGP and the police force. I commend them. I hope it's not just talk. I hope that the IGP would have said, say, by the end of November or by this date, we will have a line. We have discussed with the telcos, whether it's whoever telcos they are, at the end of this time. Mr. IGP, give us a time. Be specific about the promise. At this date, we have arranged with the telcos and we'll have a line or a number of lines that we can give to you people so that you can be actively participating in election results and everything. It's a great idea, Dan Parry. I'm not taking that away from you. I'm actually saluting you for it, but I'm going to go further. Because many times we hear promises and they just become what they are, promises. They are not delivered. So come again, give us a date that the telco will issue that number. My date, so that we know for sure that this is going to happen. Another thing too that the IGP has said that they're going to be dealing with anybody who was going to be riffraff or misbehave during the elections. Listen to just a short thing of what he said about that.
To the people who think that they can probably come out with making statements to intimidate and do all that, I want to tell them that life will become very uncomfortable for them. So they shouldn't even try.
Folks, great. IGP, I salute. You are not going to tolerate any misbehavior from anybody for this election. I salute. I thank you. Dan Parry, Midawase. So you are not going to tolerate any misbehavior from anybody. I salute. But let me say something. Something that is pricking my mind, and I'm sure many other people, Mr. Dan Parry. The last election, and we are going by anything, we are going to use the last election as our case study. In the last election, Mr. Dan Parry, and this is what I want you to address. In the last election, we had hoodlums who were dressed in police uniforms. Hoodlums who dressed in police uniform who came and performed dastardly acts at West Wagon. They were violent, they disrupted the elections, they even slapped the MP. One MP, some judge was slapped. And folks, this is what bothers me, Mr. IGP. These men were dressed as police. So when you talk about you are going to prevent all these hoodlums and you are going to make sure that these things don't happen, are you assuring us that nobody will get the chance to dress like the police and intimidate us? Let me say this, which is the most worrying part for me. Some say they were not police. Some say these were national security operatives who were dressed as police. But the point is that their conduct was disgusting. Their conduct was illegal. However, they were dressed like police. So, Mr. IGP, this is a question I'm throwing to you. Are we going to experience anything like this? Can the national security dressed as policemen commandeer a jeep and then come and cause chaos as the police are watching on? These are very scary, folks. And this is what times bothers me. And this is what times. Sometimes they say, "Oh, Tale, they were not national security people. These were MPP foot soldiers." They mentioned one man's name. They say he was called Double. No, you're a foot soldier. And yes, I'm like, really? So is that supposed to make me feel better? So don't worry, national security, they were MPP hoodlums. Really? The point is this, folks, it's even scarier. It is even scarier if it is true that MPP or whoever hoodlums can actually wear police uniform and commandeer a Land Rover or a truck or whatever in police uniform and go and cause such mayhem. That is even more scary. IGP, departure, come again. When you are talking about the things that the IGP is going to check and how the police people are all like together now, and I salute that. Mr. Dampare, don't get me wrong on that. Only me and you know, I will never do anything to tarnish your image that is not proper. So I salute you for saying that the IGP is saying that the police people are going to be there to make sure that no such hoodlums prevail. The only question I'm asking is this. It was not under you, but I'm glad that you are now in charge now. And you are stating that such a thing will never happen. So I'm saying this, Mr. IGP, if it is in fact hoodlums that were not national security, but they were party apparatus, whatever, the fact that they can actually find police uniforms, one of them are, who gave them the uniforms? If there were no police, who gave them police uniforms? Who gave them the weapons to do that? So, Mr. IGP, please extend the assurance you are giving Ghanaians. Extend it and say that you are going to make sure that no hoodlums do that. And tell us that nobody will get access to wearing a police military attire and using a police car to come and cause mayhem. Patchomaya, that assurance, and we'll be very, very, very happy. We'll be very, very, very happy because that's one of our biggest scares. You know, Ghana, we are very peaceful people, so if you can just drop some hoodlums, you may cause of confusion. So please, I want that extra assurance. And folks, in case, and it's very, very possible that they were not even party hoodlums, but this were partisan police hoodlums. Because we know that in the police we have NDC members, we have MPP, you all have members in the police force. So even if in fact these were not party full soldiers, but they were sympathizers of the MPP who as police people conducted that illegality, there's a cause for worry. I know the email short investigated it and actually pointed out that certain brigadiers were responsible and they should be punished and they should whatever. The brigadiers actually even testified everything. But what happened? So IGP, Pacho, come again. Oh, we don't want to get to the point where people are voting at any police station and then some truck or some pickup allegedly with policemen have come and taken over and caused disturbance. My point is this. If anything like that happens, IGP, you are the one we are going to finger. So please give us that assurance that under your watch, nothing like that will happen. It wasn't only with a friend is saying, Ayawaso, Techiman, 8 people lost their lives. And I think it is a blot in the conscience of Ghana to know that 8 people, 8 who are just going to vote lost their lives. And what happened? Oh, the case was even thrown away. So nothing. I think there was some court case where there was what's his name, Honorable Joe Wise, did his best to say that no, these people, why Ghanaians are making all this noise that the president should comment, but if they are criminals and we kill the criminals, something to the effect. So I'm alive to Ukraine here because after all they were criminals.
Should the president just talk about if a criminal is shot, he's shot, the crime does not matter? I beg to differ. What happened? The president should stay out. But I think it's not fair to insist that because somebody died, even if he was in the process of committing a crime, it becomes an issue. No, I beg to differ.
Not even commiserations to the families?
Hello? Do we commiserate with the families of armed robbers we shoot?
Are the people who died armed robbers or are they criminals?
Crime? Were they in the process of committing a crime? Let's determine that. These are thinking of any victim of any victim attracts our sympathy. I don't support that. If I am wrongly killed, I deserve sympathy. But if I am shot in the process of preventing a crime, I deserve that.
Really? If there were criminals, did the police come up with a report, say, these 8 people, we have been involved in armed robbery, this one was arrested on this day for this one has been that, this one has been found guilty by... Did the police come up with any statement showing that they had prior criminal records before they were killed in cold blood? But it happened during the election. They were killed in cold blood, and after that, let's move on. Folks, so Mr. IGP, while I am thanking you for the assurance that you are giving, I'm also telling you that we are scared because we know what has happened before and we know it can be repeated. You know, and for now, the 2 major parties are coming up with statements regarding the election and each one accusing the other. The MPP is accusing the NDC is accusing the MPP of possible sabotage for this election. Let me start because the NDC had their press conference first, where they made certain allegations. Listen to Sami Gyamfi.
The General Officer Commanding of the Central Command of the Ghana Armed Forces, and is the subject matter of today's press conference. Per our intel, this man is the master brain of the MPP's evil election rigging plot. Now, as I said, I want to repeat for emphasis, the name of this man must ring a bell to Ghanaians, as he is a person who masterminded the mayhem and brutality inflicted on innocent Ghanaians during the infamous Ayawaso West Wuogon by-elections held on the 31st of January 2019. As Director of Operations at the National Security Secretariat, Colonel Michael Kwejo Opoku, as he then was, commandeered and unleashed MPP thugs, including Double, to attack innocent civilians. Friends from the media, you will recall that many Ghanaians were shot, brutalized, and maimed. Not even the sitting member of parliament, Oningo Pram, Honorable Sam Nati George, was spared by the MPP hoodlums, acting under the guise of national security. Appearing before the Onishot Commission after the incident, Colonel Michael Opoku, as he was then known, admitted that the masked MPP bandits who attacked and maimed innocent civilians did so under his express instructions. In his current position, Brigadier General Opoku has been mandated by President Akufo-Addo to take charge of a well-crafted scheme that has been designed by the MPP to rig the upcoming elections, particularly in the Ashanti region, through ballot stuffing, swapping of ballot boxes, swapping of pink sheets, and other clandestine activities.
So folks, these are the words of Sami Gyamfi for representing the NDC. How this brigadier or colonel is actually a vital part of rigging the election, and the claims he's making that he's now been sent to the Ashanti region. So, IGP, Mr. Dampare, I want you to respond specifically to the NDC claim. They have made the claim, they have shown the footage and everything. I want you to respond to that. How true is this? Step in. MPP2 has also had a press conference And they have alleged things. People are being trained in whatever comes he talked about.
As we approach the December 7th general election, the New Patriotic Party is uncovering disturbing plans by the National Democratic Congress to adopt violent tactics in a desperate bid to intimidate voters and to disrupt the electoral process. Information available to the NPP reveals that several months ago, the NDC has been training thugs in pockets of communities, including Obuasi East constituency, under the guise of private security training. These individuals are being prepared to disrupt electoral process, particularly in Ashanti region.
Nana B, let me tell you, you know how to reach me. Let me assure you that if you also have any evidence of what you're talking about, please give me a call. You know how to reach me and give me the evidence. In my next program, as we talk about the peaceful election, I'll show it. This is what the NDC claimed, this is what the NPP is claiming, with the evidence. Show it. And after both have shown evidence, even if you don't have any evidence, my question now is to the IGP. Dr. Dampare, Pacho, what are you doing? If there's going to be any trouble from the election, these two parties are the ones that we are afraid have the possibility of instigating anything. So what is your position? What are you saying? Because folks, let me say this again. We, the people who are going to vote today, we are going with our fine, clear intention. That's all we know. During the election, all the hula baloo and things that can cause to disorganize the election, stealing of ballot boxes, stuffing of ballots, that's beyond us. IGP, that is directly in your territory. So once again, I beg you, I know you met the press and you did a beautiful press conference. If you want to meet me one-on-one, hey, wherever you are and you call me, KSM, come, let me show you what I'm talking about. I'll be there. As a matter of fact, when I said a few things about the Peace Council that he thought there was something necessary to correct, the Reverend Edu Jemfi came to the program to come and correct it. So you are invited. We're all about building the nation, and for right now, we are all focused on a very peaceful, transparent election. And I'm glad that IGP will say we are going to make sure that the police conduct and deliver the most peaceful election Ghana has ever had.
We want to assure you the elections will be very peaceful because of the measures we put in place. So Ghana, feel free, Ghanaians, feel free and live your life normally. We are ready, we're prepared, we do whatever it takes to protect the peace, security of this country. We have your back.
Show some love, man. Yeah, I think you deserve our applause. Today, we are talking about the nation and how this nation can have a very peaceful election. And then we can all celebrate the fact that we have had a peaceful election and everything was transparent and we can all be free. So, Mr. IGP, we're there directly to you, man. Deliver and let us see. But I was just speaking on, based on the past one, the things we saw do not make me happy. Before I wrap up, let me say something real quick before I wrap up. It is not necessary for any lives to be lost in this election. Or for that matter, any lives to be lost. Charlie, it is not necessary. Americans have something called Black Lives Matter. The Black Americans, when Black Americans they feel were being killed indiscriminately and it wasn't justified, then they came up with Black Lives Matter. I remember when they killed Floyd. You remember when they killed Floyd? Even our president here sent a tweet to sort of commiserate with the Floyd family, to send condolences. President Nana Addo Dankwa of Ghana, President of Ghana, tweeted about Floyd. Nipa 8 ne wo Techiman. Did anybody send any tweet? No, they were criminals. This must stop. Let us treasure every life. The fact that we are going into an election does not mean that certain people can be shot and killed. And any MP can get up and say these were criminals. All lives matter. You can't kill people and just write them off, so many criminals. Listen to it again. Listen to it.
Should the president just talk about if a criminal is shot, he's shot. The crime does not matter? I beg to differ. What happened? The president should stay out. But I think it's not fair to insist that because somebody died, even if he was in the process of committing a crime, it becomes an issue. No, I beg to differ.
Not even commiserations to the families?
Hello? Do we commiserate with the families of armed robbers we shoot?
Are the people who died armed robbers or are they criminal?
Crime? Were they in the process of committing a crime? Let's determine that. These are thinking of any victim attracts our sympathy. I don't support that. If I am wrongly killed, I deserve sympathy. But if I am shot in the process of preventing a crime, I deserve that.
So this is all we are talking about. I don't think even one life should be lost. No life should be lost on this election. Let us treat all lives with respect and dignity, whether or not they belong to our party. It doesn't matter. One nation under God. That's how we are approaching this election. So let me end here and say this. The first in Ghana for, please, let us start majoring in the majors. Ghana for, and also to the election, IGP, I salute you for being proactive enough to come out and make all these statements about how ready you are. The phone numbers and everything that you say are going to be coming soon. I've asked you to give us the date for all of these things. So I salute you for that. And I think I also recommend, whether it will happen or not, I don't know, but what I think all Ghanaians should see on the screen and read about in the press, everything is we have the IGP, we have the Chief of Defense Staff, we have the National Security Couple, we have Christian Council, we have the Muslim Council, whatever. All of you, say 5 or 6, come and sit down and make assurances for a peaceful election to the people of Ghana and vow that you'll be committed to protecting the people of Ghana for a peaceful election. Charlie, very, very soon we're going to the election. We are looking for a peaceful, solid, transparent election, and we'll all be happy as a nation. And like I say every time, this country, Ghana, shall rise again. What time is it, folks? It's nation time. And like we always say, folks, truth crashed to earth shall rise again.